it's Miss Stephanie again. Thank you for joining us for our Turtle Tots program. I have our guest, the lovely Alana. Thanks for joining us, Alana. Thank you so much for tuning in again. We love that you all are participating with us. We miss all our Turtle Tot families so much, but we are excited we're able to come to you each week and learn about a new animal. Isn't that exciting? I'm excited. So, if you've never been to our Turtle Tots program, then you don't know, but we do the funnest thing. We do our welcome wiggle every time we have class, and almost every time I wake up in the morning, I like to get the wigglies out. When you grow up, it's called exercising, but when you're a fun little tot, you get to do fun things called welcome wiggle. So we do a special Turtle Tot welcome wiggle. So I need all my friends to stand up with me and help me get started as we do our welcome wiggle. So we're standing up, give ourselves nice and space. Woo. Okay, and we're gonna take our two hands. We have two hands. We're gonna put them together, so put your hands together, and swim like fishies. And we swim up. Can we swim up and we swim down? Can we swim in a circle? Let's swim in a circle. Woo! Woo! Oh my goodness, I'm dizzy. Okay, now we have two arms, right? We have two arms. And we use them to pretend like we're a bird. How about we're a cool pelican or an osprey? Or yesterday driving, I saw an eagle. Wow, big, huge wings up and down and up and down. Okay, now let's take our finger and our thumb man, we're gonna put them together and we're gonna pinch, 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 pinch. Pinch, 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 pinch. Tickle, tickle, pinch. Tickle, tickle, pinch. Just like a hermit crab, because they use those big, remember we learned chelipeds, those little big claws that they use to dig through the sand to find their tasty food. Yum, 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 ding, ding, ding. Okay, now let's do a moray eel. We're going to put our hands together and we're going to swim slow from side. Whoops, don't bump into your friend. To side and around and up and down, because our big green moray eel doesn't see very good, so he swims around and around. Okay, now we have two big arms, but they're not wings. We're going to pretend like they're wings, but not regular bird wings. We're going to pretend like they're water wings, like our cow-nosed stingray. Up and down. Woo, big arms, big arms. Show me big arms. Let me see those big arms. Woo. Okay, now let's do big arms again. And we're going to be a sea turtle swimming in the water. Woo, swim, swim, swim. Big flippers, just like a big sea turtle. Alrighty, last but not least, let's do sticky feet of a sea star. Sticky, sticky, sticky feet. They move slow, usually at the bottom, trying to find a tasty thing to eat, like a clam. Sticky, 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 sticky. All right, you guys did so good. Give yourself a nice little clap. So today is a super fun class. Today, we're going to learn about sharks. Who likes sharks? Raise your hand. If you like the ocean, if you like to fish, if you like to see all the fishies in the ocean, then you have to like sharks. They are so cool. So today we're going to learn about a special shark called a Megladon shark. So before we get started, I want to tell you something a little bit special. We're going to do our shout outs now. So I want to shout out to a special guy, a special little boy, my nephew, Emmanuel. This is Emmanuel. This is Alana's cousin. He is 5 years old. He just graduated VPK, so shout out to Emmanuel. Look at him. He is so proud. He works so hard. So, Emmanuel loves Megladon sharks. Do you like the Megladon shark? The shark, the biggest shark of all the other sharkies and the whole world. He likes Megladons. And when he told me a Megladon shark, which was his favorite, I said, wow, I love sharks and I love the Megladon. And so because of Emmanuel, I put together today's program. So he was our inspiration and he inspired me to write today's story. I'm so excited that Emmanuel loves sharks and that he helped inspire us today. Also, we have to do our shout outs from last week. We have the lovely Isabella that she made her beautiful hermit crab. So cool.
Hi, Emmanuel. He's watching.
Okay. Yeah. I also dropped, a shout out to our next guy, our next turtle tots, all the way from Prague. That means in a whole different part of the world, our friend Cosmo made a hermit crab. So thank you so much, Cosmo, for joining us. We're so excited that you were able to learn about hermit crabs with us. And we have really cool turtle tots. We have MJ here making a Megladon tooth. So if you saw the announcement, you saw that one of our activities is going to be making a whole fossil of a Megladon tooth. It's pretty easy and super fun. Here's Miss Peyton also made her Megladon tooth. And we're gonna do that today in our class. So thank you so much for tuning in, guys. We're gonna get started. Raise your hand, give me a shout out, say hi to me, let me know you're listening. And as we read our story, the story today is called The Story of the Lonely Megladon. In a deep ocean, over 2.6 million years ago, lived a young Megladon shark named Big Tooth. Although he was young, he knew he would grow into the biggest, up to 60 feet long, and the greatest of all the fishies in the ocean, a real apex predator. Wow, he looks pretty fierce, huh? Even though not fully grown, no one bothered Big Tooth, but it also meant he was always alone. From the beginning of his life, Big Tooth was content to cruise along the vast ocean alone, learning to hunt for meat, usually other fishies. Tasty. His sense of smell, give me a big smell, was extraordinary. That means really good. And it always led him to find tasty treats. He loves fishies. Yum, 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 yum. But as Big Tooth grew and grew, he began to spend more time trying with all his might to catch enough fish to fill his belly full. My nose lets me smell where to go. My ears let me hear where my food is swimming, and still my belly is hungry, he thought as he scurried to find even more fish. Wow, those fishies are fast moving, swimming away. On and on, Big Tooth recited, "Never give up, don't give up." For it was known throughout all the ocean that Megladons never give up. That is what we do, he thought. But with each passing day, Big Tooth continued to struggle to fill his ever-growing hunger. Soon, Big Tooth began thinking, I am so lonely and hungry. I wish I had a friend. If I had a friend, we could swim together and catch even more fish. Then maybe my belly would be full, thought the ever-growing Big Tooth. Big Tooth continued to think, well, how do I make a friend? For every time Big Tooth saw another fish, they swam away as fast as their fins would take them. Gee, thought Big Tooth, no one likes me. I am too big. My teeth are far too large and sharper than all the other creatures I see. Plus, I'm always hungry. What can I do? How will I make a new friend, thought Big Tooth. As Big Tooth pondered this, he became quite distracted. Uh-oh, what's gonna happen? When suddenly a dark shadow quickly passed overhead. Oh no, what was that? Big Tooth said to himself. As this shadow glided through the water, Big Tooth grew afraid. The shadow rapidly moved this way and that, circling all around Big Tooth. What should I do? He worried. So Big Tooth did what he always did whenever he was afraid. He hastily swam away. No one is faster than me, he thought to himself. Before he could get away, the faster-moving shadow began approaching him. As the shadow came into view, Big Tooth realized it looked similar to him. With a large dorsal fin on top, 2 pectoral fins on each side of its body, and a very muscular tail that propelled it along, and even an enormous mouth full of sharp teeth. Just like me, he immediately deduced. Hello, said the other creature, for Big Tooth wasn't sure what to call it. My name is Sharpnose. Will you be my friend? Big Tooth was so afraid he could barely speak. Hello, Big Tooth managed to squeak back. Sharpnose was so thrilled to meet another shark, she excitedly swam this way and that. Meanwhile, Big Tooth didn't know what to do or what to say. She was talking so fast. How are you? Where are all your friends? Let's catch some food. I'm hungry, she said, all at once. Big Tooth was very afraid because he had never seen another shark that was so similar to himself. What are you? Big Tooth finally mustered the courage to ask. Sharpnose immediately smiled, showing 12 rows of sharp teeth, and said, why, I'm Sharpnose, the mako shark, the fastest of all the sharks. I'm Big Tooth, a Megladon shark, interrupted Big Tooth. By this time, he lost all his former shyness. We look an awful lot alike, don't you think? He asked Sharpnose. Sharpnose laughed and said, we are both elasmobranchs. Elasmobranchs, repeated Big Tooth. What is that? Silly, that means we are made entirely of cartilage, and that makes us the fastest fishies in the ocean. Can we be friends? I've always wanted a friend, he shyly said. Yes, let's be friends, said Sharpnose. And from that day on, Sharpnose and Big Tooth became the best of friends. Together, they used their superb senses to catch more fish than ever. The end. I loved that story. I hope you guys enjoyed that. We had fun coloring and putting together that story for you guys. So, we learned about the Megladon shark, the fastest, the biggest of all the sharks in the water. The Megladon is the biggest shark ever on record, 60 feet long. So, think about your school bus, bigger than that. Wow, I can't even imagine how big. He's so big that, I can barely hold his tooth. This is a real living fossil. A fossil means something that we found that lives long, long ago, like a T-Rex bone, because remember, we have bones, right? Well, if you're a Megalodon, you don't have bones. What do you have? Remember that word elasmobranchs? That really just means you're made out of silly stuff called cartilage. So touch your ear, give me your ear a good touch. Can you do a fruit roll up with your ear? Let me see a fruit roll up. You can roll that ear up. Your ear has no bones, just like the Megladon shark. And all the sharks that live now. That makes them fast. So if you're a Megladon shark and you need to eat your food because your belly is hungry and you're growing and growing, you have to be faster than all the fishies you want to catch. So the Megladon shark is a pretty cool dude. His teeth are kind of like ours. Do you have teeth? I have lots of teeth. So he loses them all the time, almost every time he eats. He has to take a big bite and pull and tear away. So we find Megladon teeth that were from all the way 2.6 million years ago. These teeth lasted all that time. And that's because they're made out of cartilage, which is why we have no true bones of a Megladon, but they also are coated in enamel, just like our teeth. So every time the big dude ate, he lost a tooth. And so we can go to the beach right now. I have a friend who has a friend who lives in North Carolina who just found a really big Megladon tooth. I've also heard of another lady who said she found a Megladon tooth at our Ponce Inlet beach. That is just unbelievable. So they're still finding all these teeth all over the world. The Megladon was the biggest. His tooth is like as heavy. Let me hold it. I have here a cup of flour. This is a cup of flour. It's the same weight. Here, you want to give it a test? Give it a test. Tell me if it's the same. It's the same. Yeah. It's so heavy. So imagine how big that Megladon shark truly was. So the word Megladon is actually means big tooth. The word mako, like our mako shark nose, actually means sharp nose. How cool. So that's how I came up with some cool names for our little characters in our story. So sharks use, you would think, their sharp teeth to catch their food, but they actually don't. They have those superb senses, just like our book told us. Superb senses. Our senses are our smell. So touch your nose. I can smell tasty lunch. What did you have for lunch? Maybe some chicken nuggets? That smells good. I can smell popcorn. Yummy, yummy popcorn. I can hear all sorts of things. So if you're a sharky, put your shark imagination hat on. You're swimming in the water. The fishies are hiding. What do you use to catch your food? You have to find them. You're going to use that nose. A shark has 2 nostrils, just like we do, to find their food. They use it to smell. They can smell a tiny bit of blood. Do you have a pool? Imagine almost your whole entire pool. They could smell a few drops of blood. They use their hearing to hear vibrations, and they know where to swim. So Big Tooth had to find his food. He had to hear where the fishies were making noises. Then they can use a taste. They use those sharp teeth to taste, and they can also touch, and they can come up to a fishy, bump them, and figure out, do I want to eat that fish? It's pretty cool. So if you look at the mako teeth, and then this is a shark jaw of a bull shark. He's a cool dude. We have bull sharks that live here. They are one of the few sharks that are not very picky at what they eat, and they get pretty big, pretty cool. So they look a little bit similar in shape. These are called triangular teeth, a little bit like a great white shark. And we can identify a type of shark based on their shark teeth. How cool is that? So this bull shark has triangular serrated teeth at the top and sharp pointy teeth at the bottom. 2 different types of teeth. Pretty cool. Now, remember when we said that sharks lose teeth every time they eat? Have you ever lost a tooth? Did you ever bite into an apple and lose a tooth? Alana, has that happened to you before? I think it has. I think we put her to... So if you're a shark and you lose your tooth, you gotta have sharp teeth. Otherwise, you can't take a bite. You can't eat your food. You won't survive. you are super cool dude and you have replacement teeth. So remember, like the Mako has 12 rows of sharp teeth. All sharks have rows and rows and rows and rows of replacement teeth. So when one gets loose, another falls forward. So that is how we find shark teeth all over our beaches. Their teeth are coated with enamel and is the only part of a shark that will fossilize. So we don't have any true bones of sharks because they're made out of cartilage. It makes them fast, but doesn't help to preserve any of those bones. So based on the Megalodon's tooth and how heavy and how big it is, we were able to put together how big that prehistoric shark could have really been. Pretty cool. So they're still studying all of these teeth, and even scientists are studying if the Mako shark is not a more closely related cousin of a Megalodon. Pretty cool. A modern day Mako, or a modern day Megalodon. The Mako is the fastest, the longfin Mako is one of the fastest sharks in the ocean. They eat really, really fast moving fishies like tuna, all kinds of really fast moving fishies. So, do you want to see our craft? We made some really cool crafts. We need to do our experiment too. And so we're gonna do our craft. So we have first, I sent out, it's on the announcement, our shark band. So there's a really cool website. It's called Sharks for Kids. Sharks for Kids, the number 4 kids. All of these really cool crafts and activities and more learning are available on their website. So they are really cool people. Their job is to educate kids and adults all about sharks and why we need them. Why do we need sharks? We need them because they eat the sick and injured fishies. If one little redfish, do you like to go fishing for redfish, gets a yucky fishy disease and there's not a shark to eat him, he will kill all his other fishy redfish fishies. So we need sharks. We also put together, so we have our shark bands. I made our shark band. They're really cool. And you can make them all sorts of different colors and sizes. They're super fun. All we do is tape them and they last for a really long time. So we have all these different shark bands. And we also made our really cool, fun activity. We made a lot, well, okay, so I apologize. Alana made a real Megladon tooth. This is so easy. It's so easy. We're gonna show you how to make it. So Alana, will you show us, since you're the expert, what you did to make your Megladon tooth?
First, you gotta take off all your bracelets and stuff. So first you wanna tell mommy and daddy and grandma and grandpa this, that you wanna add half a cup of water in there, not a whole cup, half.
A half a cup.
Pour it into a big bowl, and then add a half a cup of sea salt too, or salt, yeah. And then add 1 full cup of flour.
Oh, good job.
And then mix it, either use your hands or...
Ooh, I like to use
get a
hands. That sounds
spatula.
fun. We can use the baking spatula if you want.
You know what? Let's get down and dirty.
Let's make it. All right, I have our really handy piece of parchment paper that we can spread out to make our handy dandy Megladon tooth. While she's mixing that up, I'm gonna show you what it ends up looking like. You take it, you use your hands, and you can take the shark tooth that's on the diagram in the instructions, and you can actually form the tooth on top of the cutout. So I cut it out, I taped it to another piece of paper, or if you're really talented, you can take it and make it all on your own. It's super gloppy. Kids love to make messy fun. This is something you could make all different sizes. I'm gonna take this off for her. of Megladon shark teeth. Then you have your own true Megladon fossil. Because remember, they're made out of cartilage. Touch that ear, that cartilage that's in your ear. And their bones do not last. Whoops. So that's really cool. Okay, really cool. You could even make a little tiny one over here. So while she's doing that, another craft we did, and I'm gonna ask you guys to share. Okay, so here is the picture of the 4 sharks Megladon instructions. You start and you shape it. Then you add a fork with details. You can add the serrated tooth on the edges. And then you let it dry out. I let ours dry out for a whole day, and it's pretty dry. And then you can paint it. So, pretty cool. All you need is 1 cup of plain flour, a 1/2 cup of salt, and a 1/2 cup of water to make your very own Megladon shark tooth. Okay, so that is that. The next thing is we made our very own Mako shark. So I'm gonna not lie, I ran out of molding clay yesterday, and this is my very rough attempt at making a Megladon shark. And if you come to my Turtle Tots class, you know I am not the most craftiest person out there. So I want to see all your really cool Mako shark clay figures. You're gonna cut out the shape, the side shape. You can see the sharks, the Mako shark, have the longest gill slits. That's one of the ways we know they're a Mako shark. They have these really big, giant eyes, and they have a very large caudal tail. This is their caudal tail right here that propels them through the water. They have 2 pectoral fins. So you cut these out. I would use cardstock paper. They have 2 dorsal fins, 1 large and 1 small. So you can see 1 large, 1 small. And then they have 2 pelvic fins. So look at underneath, 1 on each side. And then they have an anal fin. So you can use Play-Doh. We used Crayola molding clay. And it does dry out. We did not use cardstock, and I would also recommend to color this first. All my crafty Turtle Top moms, you guys will definitely want to go ahead and do that. Definitely works better. So I did the gill slits. Mako sharks have 5 gill slits, so we want to make sure we use that. And again, this is on 4 Sharks website, or Sharks for Kids websites. That's the number 4, sharksforkids.com. They have the Mako shark. They have pretty much any shark that is your favorite. They have educational resources for teachers, for parents, and for,
It's not working.
well, sometimes those happen. So we can always make it again. So, super fun. Again, just keep trying. Thanks for tuning in with us. Thanks for watching. And I hope you will see us next week. Say thank you. We're going to keep making our Mako shark tooth. Wait, bye.